So now Mount Velus comes into play. And, you know, just that in itself is really good value. Everybody gets double strike. So it's just the champion that dies, but it can trade with something, right? It can take something out, potentially. No trample here. It is what it is. At least we got the ability to pop off. It might have been on turn 5, but we got it to pop off. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. It is day 1 of the D&D expansion within Magic the Gathering Arena. Are you ready for my first deck? I certainly know I am. This is a mono red deck with a potential turn 2 lethal, leaving Embercleave, leaving Annex behind in the dust, if you can believe it. And we're actually having a fair amount of success with the deck within Mythic, which is really, really cool. So I think this is going to be kind of a brew that we see in the upcoming days quite a bit within different color combinations. Even myself, I've got a Gnoll version of this deck coming up in a few days for you guys, which is really exciting. So buckle up, get ready. We're going to break down the deck. Let's talk about strategies, synergies, showcase the gameplay footage, highlight those strategies and synergies, and then of course wrap up with our final thoughts and deck review. This whole process is meant to give you, the viewer, a good idea whether or not the deck fits not only your personal playstyle, but of course your wildcard collection as well. Alrighty, so like the video, show that support, check out the Linktree link, because you could win a complete rare playset to this Dungeons & Dragons expansions simply by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That will trigger at 35,000 subs. Let's get into it. Today, Junior. That's what I think to myself every time I stutter while I'm doing this. So here's the mono red deck. Turn 2 lethal, 2.6 average mana value within the deck, 10 non-creatures and 17 creatures. We do have 23 land because the curve is a little lighter, and you know the land is not super important in the deck because we're looking to free cast. So first things first, how do I achieve a turn 2 lethal? I want to know, right? It all comes down to Minion of the Mighty, a 1 mana value creature, 0/1 with menace that has one of the best abilities I've seen within AFR, Adventure in the Forgotten Realms. Pack Tactics, whenever Minion of the Mighty attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, you may put a dragon creature card from your hand into the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Right, so we have a turn 1 Minion of the Mighty, followed up by a turn 2 double Infuriate. Target creature gets +3/+2 until the end of turn. Absolutely. So stacking on that, which activates Pack Tactics on turn 2, right? You're now attacking for 6 with Minion of the Mighty. Terror of Mount Velus comes out from your hand. This is a 5/5 for 7 with flying and double strike. When Terror enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain double strike until the end of turn. So you'll be hitting for 12 damage and 10 damage, 22 damage in total on turn 2. Oh my gosh. So that is incredibly powerful. However, it is incredibly rare to be able to pull off, right? First of all, you need a starting hand with Minion of the Mighty, and you'll need, an Infuriate, and you'll need a dragon, and you'll have to top deck one or the other. If you have all of them in your opening hand, salute, good game, right? You've absolutely nailed it. Now all you need to do is avoid turn 1 removal. You're set. If they're on the play, you'll have to remove or avoid turn 2 removal. Harder said than done, but it is a possibility, remember, and that's what we want to go for, is just that option. It's like the Tybalt's Trickery deck. You don't always get it, but if you do, hooray. However, there is less fallout if you don't get it, right? If you don't get it, we still have a totally viable mono red deck that can back up the rest of the game and still get those wins for you. So you're not totally and solely relying on Minion of the Mighty getting Terror of Mount Velus out for turn 2 lethal 22 damage. With that being said, we also have Goldspan Dragon, right? If we don't get Terror out, getting Goldspan is just as good because it's going to create treasures in which we can spend on Terror, right? Of course, Minion of the Mighty is a stackable creature. That ability can trigger multiple times if you have multiple copies in play, bringing multiple dragons out, right? So that's insane. We can power up our creatures not only with Infuriate, but we also have Boulder Rush, 3 copies of this, +2/+0 until end of turn, instant speed. And at instant speed for 2, you come to the Gnoll camp, choose one, Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn, right? That's going to help you get lethal if your opponent has, say, an Elder Gargaroth in play, you know, something like this, a Dream Trawler. Fend them off. Target creature gets +3/+1 until the end of turn, right? That's the buff effect that we're going to be using on something like Minion of the Mighty, which is really, really nice. We have 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant, Stomp for 2 damage to any target. Can't be prevented, that's nice. 4/3 that deals 2 damage to, you know, any spell that targets it, which is also really nice. Using the Snowlands for the Faceless Haven, this is a 4/3, which can act in reduction of our Minion of the Mighty. This is really, really nice, right? We also have the Frostbite to use on the Snowlands for a little bit of removal. I think I mentioned the Fervent Champion, you know, 1/1. It can buff another Knight up, which is cool. The Haven is a Knight. The Rimrock Champion, the Rimrock Knight is a Knight, and the Fervent Champion are all Knights, so you can kind of get a nice buff there. Again, helping you out with pack tactics. With that being said, the Rimrock Knight is a 3/1 that can't block. We have the Dragonkin Berserker, a 2/2 with first strike. Both abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate for each dragon we control. We can get a few dragons out. It's nothing much, but it, you know, potentially later on. And then, you know, boast for 5 to create a dragon, which is quite nice. And, you know, just something potential to spend our treasure mana on late game if we need. Of course, if you do get wiped, you still have the Faceless Haven to reign in terror. And, you know, the nice thing about pack tactics is that you can have the creatures in play first, right? You know, you can play him once your opponent's out of removal, right? And then, you know, just have him survive 1 turn and then get in. You know, there's also potentially a deck where it has haste. It's not this one, but, you know, day 1, we're going to continue to work with this deck. I already made some changes, so within the start of the video, you'll see me use some cards that are no longer in this deck. You know, Faceless Haven was exchanged for that other land to the increased toughness for pack tactics was really, really good for us, for example. And then we removed Run Amok for you come to the Gnoll camp for the tap and power up ability, which is really nice. So a few changes for you guys already within this deck before you've seen the final version. This is it, however. Really, really enjoying Minion of the Mighty. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe to help support. Check out the Linktree link for all the goodies as well. And yeah, here's the gameplay footage, and then we're going to wrap up with our final thoughts after this. All right, playing in Mythic may be a mistake. Typically, I would keep this hand and just play it out, but you know what we want to do today, right? You know what we want to do. We need some Infuriates here, but I can maybe make this work. Let's toss the champion. And we're going to try just to get that Bonecrusher Giant out as a 4/3 to get pack tactics going. You know, oh! Woof. If we can top deck 1 more Infuriate, which the options, like the chances on that are, you know, 0 and 0. You know what I mean? Pulling our deck tracker out here. We've got a 6 points less than that. That's not updated. And we've just lost our creature now as well. So kind of a flimsy combo wombo, I get it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just want to go for it, right? So this is the kind of deck that we're going to be mulliganing a lot to get, and it is the dream, if we can get it. Oh, let's just send this home. This is going to be really, really bad because it's a draw engine. And let's get that creature going. This stops the attack unless it does get exiled. And, I mean, we're just going to hit the dragon organically unless it gets exiled. There it is. Right, getting hit with the heater right off the start. And 2 damage, that's great. We do get that land we needed. We should have just held up Bonecrusher Giant and double stomped at this point, I guess. Lessons learned. Let's just send it out as a creature again. Force them to have another exile. And, you know, I get it. I'm so excited, right? It's the first day. I just want to play these new cards and get going. But, you know, not into that, right? So we do get our Giant back, and then they get the +1 and draw and just take the other Giants, which is irrelevant. It is an enchantment, so it's not like having to target it as a spell because it's already in play, which is a thing. And, you know, they're just getting those Citizen Champion triggers that draw, right? The exile didn't really change anything. We lose our Dragon Summoner, but that's irrelevant, does not matter to us. And maybe we can just, like, out-damage them. Oof, 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 oof. We're just gonna win this the old-fashioned way, right? Or at least I hope. That would be great if we could. And we're going all in. We get the treasure. That treasure makes Infuriate. And I would actually trade with Faceless Champion. I don't think that's a bad idea. Because it's just like a massive draw engine for them. Not to diminish, you know, how cool it would be to play with Double Strike on the other dragon, but let's just get rid of their draw engine, first and foremost, right? Taking a little damage, we don't have trample. Whatever. But what we do have is a Goldspan Dragon, and this is a very, very good card. Sitting on 5 available mana. Next turn we make the treasure, which will allow the double strike on our creatures the turn after that. Alright, so let's see what we top deck here. We can play whatever we top deck. They are in a good spot, in all honesty. We should probably sacrifice our land, make a goblin token. Otherwise, we're kind of like being at risk. Miss Maya's freaking out. That's okay though. So they're tapped. And then they can actually trade with this land. But I don't think it matters a ton. Right? We're just putting in as much damage as we can. And this way they're actually taking 9. Instead of blocking the giant. Which is just good, right? It's just going to give us lethal. Right? We don't have to attack with Velus. Everything just gains double strike. It's like a very expensive, unconventional Ember Cleave. Ayo! So that's really good for them, actually. Very, very good for them. I guess we should have kept the land back. Another one of my very many misplays. I was greedy, right? I wanted just as much damage as we could possibly get for the moment. We're down to 5. We have Menace. And plenty of goodies in the deck, right? They're drawing. They're going to Yorion bounce. Omen could kind of burn us here at a certain point. I assume they bring it over to hand. Oh, dire tactics. Okay, okay, okay. They lose 1, right? So they will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 8 mana to bring Yorion over and play it. But we should just go for it, right? We should just force their hand. And it's like you have removal or we win. Of course, this match is not how we want the deck to go. This is like a worst case scenario for us. This is, if things go wrong, you know, what you can kind of do. We lose our dragon to the ECD. And now they can bounce that, but they can't hit Dragonkin Berserker. Ayo! They can bounce, you know, Omen on the Forge to kill it, though. But at this point, we do just have to keep lacing in as much as we can. They leave Banishing Light there. We are able to somehow pull Yorion out. Let's have Yorion attack, and then we're just going to top deck a Goldspan Dragon and hit for lethal, right? Easy. It's easy, you guys. Again, this is the first time playing this deck without... Oh, it sucks. Without having a ton of time to play test it in the play queue and everything. You know, like I kind of set down new cards. This combo works. Let's try it out. And the percentage chance of you pulling it off are slim. Don't get me wrong. And not only that, but your opponent can interrupt, right? They can use removal. They have 2 turns or 1 turn potentially to do it. And they do tap here, so if there's no removal in hand and we don't top deck a farking land, we'd be in better shape here. But they're going to outpace us very quickly if we just continue to top deck lands. It is what it is. In classic HGG style, Pulling nothing but lands. Yeah. Again, you know, potentially they overreach and don't have any instant speed interaction in hand. A lot of their cards, you know, they may have flash forges. Okay, and they're tapped here. We go down to 1, but up to 9. So no matter what happens, there's no lethal. That is a very, very good game. Oh, but we did get it. If they did not have that life gain, that would have been lethal. That would have been lethal without that life gain. Nice. Woof. That is lucky. Going first, and we still don't have the perfect hand, but mulliganing for it is like such a dream, right? And I feel really bad. We can't even find it in one of them, right? So that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts. Hurting my dream. Let's just play a red deck, I guess, right? If you don't get it, just play a red deck. Oh my gosh. It's a hard life. I'm out here, though. I'm trying it. On paper, it works. But in reality, it's a pretty hard draw hand. It's not anything as cool as Tybalt's Trickery because of the fact that, you know, you have to have those cards. 3 or 4 of them in your hand, right? You have to have the Kobold or whatever, and you have to have... Oh, we're just going to get flood out again here. And you have to have the 2 Infuriates, and of course a Dragon in your hand as well. So don't fear. We've got a few other copies of this deck. Not really this deck. We have a Gnoll version, is what I should say, where you know, we're playing it later on in game instead of right out of the gate. You know, in this instance, we're typically always trying to play it right away, power it up, get the dragon. But in the other, it's quite nice because we can potentially play it later, right? So we are so close that I just end my turn, right? They could have a field wipe here. It does need to be a Shadow's Verdict. It can't be an extinction event. And it can't be single target. So it's just classic mono red stuff, right? Oh no, that's a good game, right? So even if we don't get it, we still have the chance to just, you know, be a mono red deck. We get really close, right? We get real close here. And again, they need a Shadow's Verdict because an extinction event won't do it. They also can't target the Bonecrusher Giant with single target removal. CC Snazzy Ninja helping support the Twitch channel. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, bro. Of course, if you guys want to support the channel, you can do so by checking out the Linktree link, right? There's lots of different ways. The Patreon, the YouTube, the Twitch. It is all there for your guys' pleasure. Valky in hand takes our creature, and we just go around, right? We've got 2 attackers. They only have 1 defender here, as far as I can tell. They would need to play a land, remove the Berserker, block the Bonecrusher, and yeah, we just get after it. Right, so, you know, mono red is as annoying as it ever was. That part of the deck hasn't changed. Admittedly, you're not running Embercleave, not running Annex, which is unique, right? But I still think that without it, mono red is ultra annoying. And now we have a cool new combo that we can swing in deck as well. So don't worry, we're going to try to get that combo for you guys. That's the footage I need. We've got to get it, so let's keep trying. So our opponent goes first. We do have an Infuriate, which is part of the thing, right? We have 1 of the 3 cards, or 1 of the... Actually, we have 2 of the 4 cards, right? We have an Infuriate, and we have a Terror. What we are missing is another Infuriate and the Kobold thing. What is his name? I really need to learn that. Minion of the Mighty, Kobold. So 2 out of 4 isn't bad. Our opponent goes first, so we get the draw. And, you know, if we get the perfect draw, we can get it. We need an Infuriate, and we need a Minion of the Mighty off of the top. That is not it. That's not it, bro. We could aggressively mulligan, but at the end of the day, you know, let's just get after it, right? Let's just play some matches, and it is what it is. it works, though. It's there in theory. And if they don't have a direct answer and you do get it, that's amazing. And if not, I still think it's a very, very viable deck. Okay. What are they going to choose? They should choose Stomp. If they knew what was good for them, they'd choose Stomp, right? And I'm sure they're used to this playline, right? Silver Quill Silencer, 2 toughness, entering play against a mono red deck. It is Stomp or Frostbite. But they choose Heartless Act of a color in which I do not have. They're scared of Heartless Act lots as well. So, Den of the Bugbear in play right now. As long as we have 2 or less lands, it comes in untapped, which is just the bee's knees. Do they equip something on that? Like, if they put a Maul on that, I'm going to be really, really frustrated. But I don't think they will. Let's just play the creature with first strike and force their removal. As long as it's not a power-up. So no Maul, they would need double white for that. This looks pretty good. Minion of the Mighty is Randy. Nice. Murderous Rider. Okay, so they did have the removal. They have to pay 2 life for that, but they do have the lifelink creature, which is kind of frustrating for us. Let's attack for 1. End our turn. And at the end of the day, we're just getting close to Goldspan. Goldspan's going to make the treasures for Terror. And it's just like, it's too much damage mid-range wise. I don't know if we would even call this big red. It potentially could be. Like, the mana curve probably supports it. This is pretty disgusting. Showdown of the Skull. So we're definitely going to have to kill this Silver Quill. Oh, and they get Croxas and 2 Rip Apart. So that's plenty of removal for them. Taking care of that. The Croxa is also ultra annoying, and we don't get the land. The 3 damage does not change a thing. We'll discard Goldspan. Right? They're going to probably play Croxa. If they were a pro gamer, they would play the Murderous Rider first, and then Rip Apart. Okay, this is good too, though. That nullifies our ETB. Right? And it nullifies the ETB of Croxa, so they now have Croxa in play. Nice. That might be game. We might have just been rolled by a jank deck. I'm pretty sure, right? God hurts. We can defend against it, I guess. Flyer's still gonna kind of take control over the match here, though. You jerk. That's a good play, right? The Strict Proctor is very, very good. Oh, they get the Exile. Alright, so there's no defending here. No defending. Decent, 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 decent. Oh, so you just stop it. You just stop it. I don't see a world in which we survive this. We're getting hit for 13 damage. Right? Jesus! Alright, so at this point, I just want to make the combo work. So we're gonna mulligan. We have 2 of the cards, you guys. Wow, look at us go. Can we top deck a dragon? Even if we have to wait till turn 3 because I suck. I would still be okay. Where's the dragon? Come on, Mr. Dragon, I need you. I need you, Mr. Dragon. Give me your support. So we do have +6. If we top deck a dragon, we've got it. Come on, man. Dragon, dragon, dragon. No. One match, nothing but dragons in your hand. Next match, no dragons. So this is where that dragon amulet would actually come into play and be nice. I didn't think it would be relevant but apparently it is. Right, and again, day one stuff. Sorry, I'm not perfect. I'm trying. But this is more just a have fun jank deck. I do think this will be a competitive card. Like, that's a nice effect. Really, really good stuff. Like, even imagine dropping that in like a Gruul deck that has haste and stuff, right? So it could be upsetting. Obviously, it's not a threat. We don't have a dragon, so why remove it? But again, I am so sad. Oh, man. We're going to try all day to get this combo, but I don't know if we will. We lose our champion. That may be their downfall. Maybe that's their downfall. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. We could have hit for 1, but is it really useful? I don't think so. Just leave it. Pretend we have something else going on. Oh, what? Just the luck that we're having, hey? Dang it. Is what it is. Okay, so that's not an option anymore. And Yorion's just gonna beat us. Did we just concede this? Good game. Sometimes it's not happening, you know, against a control deck, Yorion, it is what it is, right? Woohoo, right? Congratulations, bro. Alright, going first here. I'm just not gonna complain with the hand. I love this arena. By the way, that's really nice. The gold around the outside. This is just a typical good red hand. You know, there's a nice curve here. 1, 2, 3. And, you know, the dragon payoff. So, don't fight it, right? Just accept it. It is what it is. We could also potentially take that, you know, 3 damage card as well. You know, Frostbite's probably better in this particular version. But I do have another deck where I like that Dragon Fire card. Alright, Dimir Control in the house. It's gonna remove everything we play all day. I can't wait. Oh yeah! Duress, non-creature, so Frostbite's gone, doesn't matter. And they're tapped here, right? They could petty theft something. No, it's Foretell. And we get the 5th land for the dragon. We hit for 8. Go get him, red deck. Right? I know, man. Scott, I'm sorry. Just think how bad I feel. All I want to do is play my new cards. All I want to do is play my new cards, Scott. Goldspan Dragon, go! So this is going to get countered. It is what it is, right? But what that does do is it avoids removal. We have 5 lands, which equals... Oh my gosh. And they have to take single target removal here too. I think we just have potentially lethal here. So let's take that mana. Let's target creature gets +3. We'll take some damage here, right? And we still hit for lethal. Yeah, just classic mono red deck. Nothing new. Well, I mean, there is the +3 is pretty cool, but you know, it's not the combo. I just want to show the combo, man. Come on, you guys. We have 3 out of the 4 cards. 3 out of the 4 cards, you guys. Minion of the Mighty, Infuriate, and Terror. All we need is another Infuriate. We also have 2 land. And we're going first. Pray right to your moms, you guys. We need Infuriate. Mom, come on. Just place the Infuriate immediately. Get so hung up on it. Okay, so Minion of the Mighty in play. Is their turn 1 removal. They have Blood Chief's Thirst. Don't you dare do this to me. It's an eye twitch. We're safe. Oh, if only it wasn't Infuriate. No. So we will strike. Right? I mean, we are, you know, Fervent Champion helps a little bit. It'd be cool if we had 2 of them in hand. And then, you know, we could combo those Fervent Champions in with a single Infuriate to trigger Pack Tactics. They'll get the draw, that's fine. And, you know, worst case scenario, Bonecrusher in. And then Infuriate will trigger as well. So they need a creature here. And then they also need to kill some stuff with Fumes. I do hate Hateful Eidolon, and they get 2 copies of it. So this is bad. Bad news bears for us next turn. We should kill one. And they're just going to Fumes us next turn regardless. We could attack with all. And just not trigger Pack Tactics this turn. Holy, is that ever a decision? If we play the Giant, they'll get rid of the Giant. But they're gonna remove this anyways. Like, we're so close, but we didn't get it. Shoot. Let's force them into removal. You know what? Sure. Pray they don't have a land, a Mire's Grasp, you know. There it is. Double draw for them. Yikes. So we should have just removed the Eidolon, right? Do they have it again? Burn me not once but twice. Right, burn me not once but twice. Just leave me alone, man. Luris out, okay. Eye Twitch. Please play Eye Twitch. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, at this point in the game, you know, we're on turn 4, turn 5 now. They have so many blockers out that it doesn't do kind of what we want it to anymore. Oh, which is so sad. And we have to activate this first. We could keep this back. But no, the double strike is good. So now Mount Velus comes into play. And you know, just that in itself is really good value. Everybody gets double strike. So it's just the champion that dies, but it can trade with something, right? It can take something out, potentially. No trample here. It is what it is. At least we got the ability to pop off. It might have been on turn 5, but we got it to pop off. You know, not nearly as easy as just casting the Tybalt's Trickery. I'm going to kill Luris here, please and thank you. And the Eidolon I'd like to kill first. So that's nice. And I think we kill this Eidolon as well on regular strike. We have a nice field. They have to wipe the entire thing, right? We're sitting on 5 available mana. Either we have a Faceless Haven if they wipe us, or, you know, we continue to just lay on pressure from whatever we top deck. And we continue to have Pack Tactics available as well, which is really cool. So we could potentially top deck a dragon, activate Haven, play that dragon as well for free, which is good value, right? There's some stuff going on here. I'm not a complete and total ding-a-ling, just halfway. Right, just about halfway. Shadow's Verdict does not get us. And, you know, an Extinction Event is pretty nasty. But I think this is a good game. You know, I think we just got it, right? Kapow! And even with all that, we're continuing to support, you know, a fairly positive win rate here. The combo exists. It's really hard to get, but it's backed up by a fairly sustainable mono red deck. So let's talk about the deck, break it down, give our final thoughts and review. All right, you know, unfortunately, I couldn't make it pop. Shout out to any creator who was able to get a turn 2 Minion of the Mighty today. I might try again later, but I have 15 decks that I want to play today, right? I can't spend 2 hours on each of them. We have to cycle through them, get it going, HGG. I want to see some other decks as well, right? So it is there. The math works. You just have to have a nice hand. You have to avoid removal, and boom, turn 2 lethal, 22 damage. If not, it's still a perfectly viable mono red deck, as you guys seen, which is really cool. You know, it's still an aggro deck that faces down some really expensive cards. You know, the 4-5 CMC and the 4-7 CMC are just ridiculous weight on the deck, but it still works out really good because you can potentially get them out for free, which is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I think we're going to check out our next deck, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back soon with a brand new deck.